Hi everyone, this is Ramanuj from Lawsico, and today I want to talk to you about three major trends that are shaping the legal industry. And so let me share my screen because I have a presentation which I want to share with you. Give me a moment. So, so three major trends that will change legal services landscape in India, and these are trends that you must watch out for. It's not like they're going to happen next year in 2020 or in 2021. These are trends which have already started, and they have started affecting the legal market, the services market, uh, quite deeply already. And but it is a trend, and it is going to play out over the next 10-20 years, and it's starting very slowly, but over time the impact of each of these will be very visible for everybody, and it will be difficult to ignore. Actually, it is possible as of today to practice without taking these trends into account, but over time they will become so strong that they will pretty much uh, determine how things are actually done by law firms, by individual lawyers, and this will impact uh, across the board. It's not like that some people are going to be impacted and others will not be impacted. It is not like that, right? So it will impact across the board, whether you're practicing criminal law, civil law, arbitration, transactional law, M&A, whatever it may be, you will be impacted by this. Okay, so let's go to the next one. So the first thing that I want to point out is that uh, there is a huge shift in client profile. So the last time there was such a huge change, which was smaller than the change that is happening right now, was that when India became globalized after 1990. There was a opening up of our economy, and a lot of foreign uh, companies started coming into India, and that gave birth to a lot of major law firms of today, like large, big law firms with hundreds of lawyers, hundreds of partners. This was unheard of in India, and there were few large corporate law firms, but like it's just the client profile changed, and what is happening now is like like what has happened is a paradigm shift, right? And that is happening again. So what is this client profile getting shifted? Okay, so for a long time in India, legal services was meant for the rich people, for big companies, for HNIs, like people who really could afford a lot of money, people who could afford to fight prolonged legal battles. Okay, and the hoi polloi, the normal people would stay away from legal cases. They'll stay away from lawyers, and there was no question of like you going and actually fighting a legal battle. Like that wasn't an option. You like people will get into it when they had no choice, and then also they'll try to avoid it as soon as possible. But that's changing, and people are starting to become more aware of their rights. They have started to think from a right perspective that this is my right, somebody should not violate it. There's a lot more awareness about the laws, lot more awareness about how the legal system works. People have began to actually take legal recourse, and they want it. A lot of times they want it and it's not available, like they don't have something which is accessible, they don't have something which is workable. Nonetheless they want it, okay, and they're working on it. I mean, there's a demand. Like right now, we don't may not be having a supply side so much, but the demand side is being generated, and it's very clear to all of us who are online, who are working on these kind of things. Just to give you an idea, like our blog gets 1 million visitors every month, 1 million unique visitors, and a lot of these people are really looking for answers to legal questions. And I have been running this blog for the last 10 years, and I've seen the change from people not being interested in law to people actually being interested in knowing the law. So a whole new category of clients are entering the legal marketplace, and the expectations are very different. So the way a corporate client works, a sophisticated client, the way you can deal with them, it's a very different category of people. At the same time, they are bringing a lot of purchasing power. So Indians are becoming richer, right? Like across the board, there is a middle class which is earning significant amount of money, and they are suddenly asking for legal services. Even something like drafting contracts, drafting people are buying a lot more properties. They have a lot of property related matters. They have a lot of contracts. They have a lot of will and inheritance kind of issues. There's a lot of legal work, insurance, and all sorts of legal work that is being generated by these people. Uh, so so this is one major trend that you have to watch out for. So basically, we were a legal marketplace which was B2B driven, solving businesses primarily. And from there, we are shifting to a large market which is B2C, business to, it's like you are to consumer driven market. And we actually do not have a legal system which is geared towards consumers. Like there are very few legal consumers who can get a just. Like doesn't make sense the way things are organized, the way lawyers charge their fees, the way courts work. Very few things are friendly to consumers, to smaller disputes. But that's going to change now. Like it's a huge trend which will reshape the entire industry in the next 10 to 20 years. Another major thing that you know is like trademark of Indian legal industry. It has been a trademark of legal industry in India. Is that people here have been extremely there are like some senior lawyers who have access to certain courts. They have a standing before certain judges, certain courts, and they know how to get things done. Others do not. So it's not just a matter of skill, but a matter of network, a matter of it's a opaque system where you don't understand how it works, and that there are like few lawyers who can get you the results. This is actually even today, the same points could be argued by a senior lawyer and it would be heard by the court and heard favorably. And a junior lawyer may not even be able to say those lines because he would not be given the time before the judge. And that's why people spend a lot of money on senior counsels. And these things have been going on for a long time, and even now it is there. But these things are changing. Lawyers are now being hired based on trust and relationship rather than by your standing in the court, which it's basically you built a reputation, you built a relationship with judges, and therefore, or you built a relationship with certain companies, and therefore you will be there, the service provider. That is changing, and a lot of smaller law firms coming up. A lot of smaller lawyers are able to independently practice and do very well, very very well, earning a lot of money, having a lot of marquee clients, serving top-notch, matters. And trust and relationship is becoming more important, and that takes us to the next thing that in India there's a massive distrust for lawyers. Like you have to understand the context of this, that from businesses to individuals to consumers, nobody trusts lawyers. Like there's the general uh, conversation about lawyers is that lawyers are tricksters and they're not trustworthy. Like we like it or not, this is what the message has gone out in the market. And therefore it becomes very very important that lawyers who are able to build trust, they end up building the strongest legal brands. So even there are law firms which are literally named Trust Legal, and that these lawyers have understood that how important trust is and how important it is to build a brand. Because in a marketplace where people don't trust lawyers, those who have the strongest brands and strongest reputation for integrity, for doing quality work and giving good results, they are going to succeed. So we are moving towards that, right? And and success of the lawyers and law firms in the future would be generated by trust and brand, rather than you are connected with so and so officer, or you are connected with so and so judges, and which has happened a lot in India and happens today as well. So, but that's going to change. And major thing has been that people did not have information. People had to rely on rumor mills. People had to rely on something you heard somewhere. A notification will be out, but only 3 lawyers have that notification. Nobody else has it, and they will not share it with anyone. People kind of managed flow of information and managed to get clients because of that at a point of time. But that has really is changing now, because information asymmetry is not there so much anymore, and that is leading to specialization by lawyers. So you need to specialize in one area of law, and a small, even within an area you might be in a small niche, you specialize and you're really good at it, you are known for that. That kind of thing is working much better. So lawyers who specialize more will be more successful in the future than those who are just general lawyers taking any work that is coming to them, whatever they can pick up, they will pick up. So that approach will produce inferior results in time to come. And basically, it's because of the information asymmetry. People, I am a lawyer. Nobody say, let's say you today need a lawyer for a NDPS matter, okay, which is let's say there's some matter involving some psychotropic drugs, and you have you have some case relating to that. Hire a lawyer. So, maybe you will go to like a family friend or a lawyer from your class, somebody who has become a lawyer, and go and ask, can you help me with this matter, or do you know somebody you can refer? So this is how people found lawyers earlier, and you relied on the advice or the suggestion of that person, right? And you could never verify that how accurate that suggestion or a connection is. Like, if I'm telling you that, let's say go to XYZ, let's say go to Rakesh, and he is the right lawyer for you for this matter. Now you are not able to actually verify how true it is. You have to rely on my advice blindly. But that is information asymmetry, and that really worked earlier, and you could not specialize and could get matters. But that is not remaining true anymore. The shift is towards better availability of information. And clients now know a lot more about their own problems. They actually know what is the issue and what kind of work is needed to solve their problem. They know the law. Even law is available on the internet. People, they can read some blogs. They can read the statutes and judgments themselves. A lot of time, clients come to you with judgments and with some law that and say that would this help me in my matter? Why can't this be? And that lawyers have to answer those questions. You can't say, please don't bother me, I know better. You can't say that. You have to actually answer your client on those things. And they also are finding more information about the lawyer they want to hire. So if I have an NDPS matter, or I have an M&A case, or I have investment law, I can find out who are the 5 best lawyers in NDPS in Delhi by going on the internet and finding out certain things. I can look at that. If they have been answering questions about NDPS, if they have judgments after their name, if they have been interviewed in various places. So, and you can actually see how knowledgeable they are and who has been consistently talking about NDPS on the internet. That is available. So that somebody who has been talking a lot about NDPS knows about it, cares about it, rather than a lawyer who has never worked on NDPS but tells you that I can do your matter, because that's how it was till now. You find a lawyer like, yeah, I will do your matter, give me your money. That's how it used to be, but that's not going to work in the future. And therefore it's like a information battle, and basically whoever puts out the right information out there for people to read and sensitize, and you have to really curate what is available about you on the internet, right? That's going to make a huge difference. And so that is what it is. Like, what people see when they Google you, when they Google, say if I'm searching cyber lawyer in Delhi, do I see your name? Do I, do you have like, judgments to your name? Have you written articles? Have you been answering questions on some forums? All of that starts mattering for people to decide, right? Even big companies have begun to look at these kind of things. Like, in-house counsels tell me that they are looking at these kind of things to decide if they should hire a certain consumer lawyer or not, or various other things, right? Various other kind of lawyers. So these are the major trends. To sum up, the trends are I talked about. One is that there's a huge new kind of clients are entering the legal services market, and they have to be catered to. And for that, we need new kind of business model for law firms, new kind of lawyers working on new kind of matters. Similarly, there is a huge shift toward. There's going to be a huge shift towards like building brands, rather than being this fragmented like single person practice which has no name, no information, and people come and find you through touts and through informal networks. Those days are sort of gone, and building a brand has become more and more important. And like, rather than like people who are going to build the right relationships over time and right kind of deliver right kind of value will succeed. And similarly, it will see more and more specialization. Most of India's lawyers are not specialized. The specialized lawyers already earn much more than the non-specialized lawyers. But even then, out of 14, 15 lakh lawyers in India, I can bet that 95% would not be specialized, and that is the bulk of the legal market today. And that's going to change. People are going to specialize in different areas of law. They'll be forced to specialize if they don't do it on their own, and it's definitely going to be a major trend. So this is what it is. What do you think? Is the future of the legal market? What is going to happen? What trends do you see? I would love to hear from you, and really looking forward to hear your ideas and insights on this. Thank you so much.